Okay, so imagine this for a moment. Stretch your arms out as far as you can, from fingertip to fingertip. That's the entire history of Earth, 4.5 billion years, mapped onto your body. Your entire right arm? Molten rock, meteor impacts, total chaos. Your torso? Almost nothing visible, just microscopic life quietly surviving. Dinosaurs appear right before your left wrist, and all of human history, the pyramids, Rome, the Industrial Revolution, the internet, fits into less than half of a millimeter, about the thickness of a fingernail. And somehow, everything you are fits there. Number 10, the birth of the planet. There's something most people never hear about: how the moon formed. And once you understand it, you won't look at the night sky the same way again. About 4.56 billion years ago, the solar system as we know it didn't exist yet. There was only a vast cloud of gas and dust, a nebula, possibly disturbed by a nearby supernova. Gravity pulled everything inward, slowly, then violently. The sun ignited at the center, and around it, debris began to collide, merge, and grow. That's how planets form. Not gently, but through chaos. Early Earth was unrecognizable, a surface of molten rock, constant impacts, an atmosphere you couldn't breathe if it even stayed in place. And then something massive happened. A protoplanet, about the size of Mars, called Theia, collided with Earth. Not a glancing hit, a planetary-scale catastrophe. The impact ejected enormous amounts of material into orbit, which eventually formed the Moon. And here's why that matters. The Moon stabilizes Earth's rotation. Without it, our planet would likely wobble unpredictably. Climate patterns would be extreme, seasons unstable, evolution much harder. So when you look up at the Moon, you're not just seeing something beautiful. You're seeing one of the reasons complex life had a chance. Number 9, the origin of life. This might be the hardest question in all of science, and to be honest, we're still piecing it together. Around 4 billion years ago, Earth cooled enough for liquid water to exist, and somewhere in those early oceans, life began. Not suddenly, not fully formed, but through chemistry, becoming something more. Deep near hydrothermal vents, conditions were extreme but strangely ideal. Heat, minerals, energy gradients, almost like natural batteries. Here, molecules formed, amino acids, lipids, nucleotides, and then something even more interesting. Before DNA, there may have been RNA, a molecule capable of storing information and catalyzing reactions at the same time. Simple, but powerful enough. Some versions lasted longer. Some replicated more efficiently. And that's all evolution needs. Not perfection, just variation and time. Number 8, the Great Oxygenation. Before animals, before plants, oxygen was toxic. For over a billion years, life existed without it. Then came cyanobacteria. They used sunlight to produce energy and released oxygen as a byproduct. At first, it didn't accumulate. It reacted with iron in the oceans, locking itself away. But eventually, the system couldn't absorb it anymore. Oxygen began building up in the atmosphere. And for most life at the time, this was a disaster, a slow global extinction. But at the same time, it created something entirely new: an ozone layer, protection from radiation, a path toward complexity. The air you're breathing right now is a consequence of that transformation. Number 7, complex cells. At some point, something unusual happened. One cell absorbed another and didn't destroy it. Instead, they stayed together. According to the endosymbiotic theory, this changed everything. Around 1.8 billion years ago, the first eukaryotic cells appeared. Cells with internal structures, with nuclei, with specialization. That internal organism became the mitochondria. Even today, your cells still carry them. They have their own DNA, their own history, which means part of you was once an independent organism. Number 6, the Cambrian explosion. Then, evolution accelerated. Around 541 million years ago, life didn't just evolve, it diversified rapidly. In a relatively short period, most major body plans appeared. Before this, simple organisms. After this, eyes, limbs, shells, predators. Why did it happen? We're not entirely sure, but increased oxygen, changes in ocean chemistry, and one critical innovation: vision. Because once organisms could see, they could hunt, hide, react, and evolution became a feedback loop. Number 5, life moves onto land. At some point, life faced a new frontier: land. Empty, dangerous, untouched. Around 375 million years ago, some fish developed limb-like structures, not because they planned to leave the water, but because shallow environments demanded adaptation. One of them, Tiktaalik. It had fins, but also bones similar to your arms, a neck, primitive lungs. It didn't fully live on land, but it didn't fully belong in water either. And that transition is still written in your anatomy. Number 4, the Permian extinction. Then came the most severe extinction event we know of, not caused by an asteroid, but by Earth itself. Around 252 million years ago, massive volcanic eruptions in what is now Siberia released enormous amounts of greenhouse gases. The planet overheated. Oceans lost oxygen. Acidity increased. Ecosystems collapsed. An estimated 96% of marine species gone. 70% of land vertebrates gone. Life didn't disappear, but it came very close, and recovery took millions of years. Number 3, the age of dinosaurs. After that collapse, new life emerged. Dinosaurs didn't just exist, they dominated Earth for over 160 million years. Some grew to unimaginable sizes. Others were fast, intelligent, adaptive. But here's something most people overlook: they never fully disappeared. Birds are their descendants. Every bird you see today is part of that lineage, which means dinosaurs didn't disappear, they evolved. Number 2, the asteroid impact. 66 million years ago, another turning point. An asteroid struck Earth. The impact triggered fires, blocked sunlight, and disrupted ecosystems worldwide. Many species disappeared, including non-avian dinosaurs, but not all life. Small mammals survived, and survival creates opportunity. Without that event, our story might never have started. Number 1, us. We've been here for about 300,000 years. Agriculture, around 12,000. Civilization, just a few thousand. If Earth's history were a year, we appear in the final minutes of December 31st. All of recorded history in the last minute. Which raises a strange thought. Everything that led to you took billions of years, and yet your moment is incredibly brief. 4.5 billion years of chaos, adaptation, extinction, and survival. And somewhere along that process, something unusual happened. Matter started asking questions about itself, about its origins, about its place in all of this. And maybe that's the most remarkable part. Not that the universe exists, but that, at least in a small corner of it, it can be observed, questioned, and wondered about. And you're part of that. And remember, the universe doesn't reveal its secrets to those who rush. It reveals them to those who know how to look. Subscribe and keep listening to the silence.